There once was a 8-year-old boy named Arthur Reed. He was a huge animal fanatic. Till one day, in 1917, Arthur fell into a deep depression when his beloved dog, Pal, had been run over by a car. Arthur was heartbroken. He couldn't cope with the loss of his best friend. In an effort to make him feel better, Arthur's parents took him and DW to the Elwood City Zoo. The night before, burglars broke into the zoo. They made locks and barriers, and the bars were very loose, so they would break easily. In an attempt to cause the zoo patriots harm, without it being noticeable that something was wrong with the animal cages and the barriers. When the Reed family was in the cats area in the zoo, the lions were unusually close to the patrons. Too close, since the barriers were loose by the burglars the night before. The zoo patriots were freaking out. Then the lions broke the barriers open. Soon, the animals broke free from the cages and barriers. The animals started rampaging, badly injuring the patrons. Some have even died. Arthur tried to escape, but a male lion attacked him. The lion mangled him, clawed his back of his head, and left several gashes on Arthur's body. Just as Arthur was about to die, or supposedly, he saw an aardvark coming to comfort him. Much like his deceased pet Pal, the aardvark sniffed him and had a sad look on its face. Arthur smiled and collapsed due to his several injuries. The Reed family escaped and carried Arthur to the nearest emergency room. The doctors discovered that he was still breathing, but they were unable to wake him up, as was in a coma. Arthur dreamed that everyone was an animal, still humanoid-like, as they were able to talk, walk on 2 legs, drive, read, and have minds of their own. It seemed like Arthur was reborn into an aardvark. His life started over from birth to death. Pal was reborn again, and he never died from a car. The Reed family were aardvarks because an aardvark was the last thing Arthur ever saw before he fell into the coma. Buster was a rabbit. Arthur's other real world friends were bears, monkeys, cats, dogs, and a moose, and even rats. Arthur lived on throughout his dream. He graduated Lakewood Elementary, then high school, and went on to college. He got to marry Francine Frensky, and they had a family together. At the end of the cartoon episode, and now let's talk to some kids, Arthur and Francine, now old, are watching the Professor Brain show, who was their childhood friend who was a bear and died in 1977 at the age of 76. They then played an old tape that had an appearance on a segment of the show, The Magic Toolbox. Francine says, "And there is Buster Baxter. Whatever happened to him?" Buster, unknown to Arthur and Francine, he had died of a heart attack in 1988 at the age of 79. Arthur eventually died in 1993 at the age of 84 of natural causes. Well, Francine dies in 2001, 2 weeks before the 92nd birthday. Also of natural causes. Arthur's dad died in 1948 at the age of 72, while his mother died in 1959 at the age of 85. As for DW, she lived Arthur's legacy until her death in 2006 at the age of 93 due to a heart disease. As for baby Kate, she didn't live as long. She died at the age of 19 in 1935 due to breast cancer. Arthur never woke up from that coma, breaking a world record for being in a coma for 76 years. All this time, the books and cartoon were of an 8-year-old's dream while in a coma. Arthur may not have a chance to live in the real world, but lived a good life in the dream world. He became a successful man writing books and a cartoon based on his own life. In the dream world, that is.